Okay. What do you think of, this is for you, but everybody can answer. What do you think of Trump meeting with Viktor Orban? He is the dictator, is that too strong a word, of Hungary?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an authoritarian figure.
He's as close as it gets in the Western world.
I mean, he was elected, but so was Hitler.
Right. And he seems to be elected over and over and over again.
Yes.
But I think actually most Americans know nothing about Viktor Orban, so it probably has no impact on his electability. And that's
I really
true.
agree with that.
You're right.
So
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
But can we educate them a little?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hungary's a country.
We're on
It's right
CNN now.
Right, yeah.
Come on.
So,
Who is Viktor Orban?
There's a country, it's called Hungary. You may have heard of it.
It's part of my heritage.
Yeah.
It's Hungarian.
Oh, that's amazing. And it is on Eastern Europe, and it became a part of the European Union, but it is definitely the most difficult member of the European Union.
Yeah, it
by
used
far.
to be part of the Soviet bloc. It
Exactly.
was part of the group with East Germany and Poland and Czechoslovakia.
And allies with Hitler in World War II.
Yeah, well, many were.
Right. And they were one of the countries that basically were like, don't worry, Hungarian Jews, we're not going to turn you over, we're not going to turn you over, you're not going to turn. Yeah, we are. And then by the very end, bam, all at once.
In the high-stakes world of global politics where alliances shift and ideologies collide real-time with Bill Maher zeroes in on one of the most eyebrow-raising meetings in recent memory. Donald Trump and Viktor Orban, Hungary's strongman, prime minister, known for eroding democratic institutions and clashing with the European Union through hardline nationalism, is hardly a champion of liberal values. Now, with Trump embracing Orban on the public stage, Maher and his panel dive into the troubling optics and deeper implications. Is this a strategic nod to the global rise of right-wing populism, a revealing glimpse into a shared authoritarian worldview? With trademark wit and unflinching candor, Maher leads a no-holds-barred exploration into what this meeting says about the future of democracy.
And they have a very strong anti-immigration stance, especially with the migrants that are coming through Europe. They have been the most resistant to taking any migrants that have come through actually the borders of Eastern Europe as they came through Syria. It's an interesting thing to see this country try to have the benefits of the West, but also be resistant as well.
You know who else didn't take any Syrian refugees? Saudi Arabia, where they might have fit in a little better.
Right.
I'm just saying. You know, I know, I get it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Donald Trump's meeting with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban isn't just another diplomatic moment, it's a revealing snapshot of where global populism may be heading. Orban, infamous for curbing civil liberties, silencing independent media, and advancing hardline anti-migrant policies, embodies a brand of authoritarian leadership that openly challenges liberal democratic ideals. For Trump, the alignment is more than symbolic. On Real Time with Bill Maher, Maher and his panel decode the deeper meaning behind this political embrace. Is it simply red meat optics for the base, or does it point to a more profound ideological convergence? With sharp analysis and no sugarcoating, the panel peels back the populist veneer to examine what this alliance says about the evolving face of conservatism and its implications for democracy's future.
Do you think a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine is possible? Yeah, we got 80 seconds. Let's prove that.
100%. And this is what so many people don't understand about Biden.
You think a two-state?
I think it's 100% possible. Biden's the guy to do it because he's established his bona fides. These things do not happen overnight, and the first step of making peace is establishing your cred. There's an old saying, it's either U.S. Diplomatic Corps or Star Trek VI. Only Nixon could go to China, right? He was the only guy with the bona fides to do it. And Biden was so smart in Israel's darkest moment, right after October 7th, he came to Israel and said, I am your friend, I am your protector. So now he is in a position to say, as your friend and your protector, I can tell you the only long-term solution for Israel is a creation of Palestine.
But you're only talking about this from one side. You do realize that Hamas does not want a two-state solution.
No.
They want the whole thing, from the river to the sea.
Right. But Hamas needs to be isolated, and we need to talk. The fourth player in this quartet is the Arab world, right? And the good news here is that the world has changed in 20 years, and it's not your father's Middle East anymore. right? This is not dictators in the 60s.
In some ways.
In some ways, but it's not like
In some ways it is.
Yeah, but now there is a new coming war with Iran. And there are
Yes.
this is huge. And the Gulf Arabs
War
especially-
between Israel and Iran,
No,
or us
between
and
the
Iran?
Iranians and the Gulf Arabs. That's the war. That's the big conflict. And the Gulf Arabs are scared to death.
Yeah.
Which is why they tried to do a peace treaty with Israel, forgetting the Palestinians, because
Right.
their attitude is we need.
Well, and again, for those people who we imagine don't know this stuff, but I think they probably do because they're watching CNN.
In the aftermath of the October 7th Hamas attacks, President Biden's swift and unwavering support for Israel wasn't just a display of solidarity, was a defining moment in U.S. foreign policy. But on Real Time with Bill Maher, the panel looks beyond the headlines. Viewing Biden's stance as more than moral alignment, it's a calculated move that could position the U.S. as a key broker for future peace talks. Still, the path forward is anything but clear. Hamas continues to reject the very premise of a two-state solution, insisting instead on total control from the river to the sea, a hardline position that not only shuts down the possibility of negotiation, but also marginalizes more moderate Palestinian voices. As the panel underscores, diplomacy can't begin when one side refuses to come to the table.
The Iranians are Shiites.
Right.
And the Gulf Arabs, most of the Arab world is Sunni.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I think 85%. But the Shiites are very strong, and the Iranians have proxies in almost every country that is surrounding Israel. They have the Houthis, that's in Yemen, that's to the south. They took over Iraq because we stupidly went and undid the balance of power there. Syria, and Lebanon, Hezbollah. So that is a Shiite Iranian-led arc that goes all around the Middle East. And yes, it is very frightening, and that was causing Saudi Arabia and Israel to make peace with each other, because the friend of my friend is, or the friend of my enemy, or whatever that saying is. My cousin's cousin is my friend. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say, you know.
But we're in a better position than we've ever been in between alternate energy tech and alternate energy business practices and infrastructure. We're not their crack whores anymore.
Right.
We're in a position now where if we walked away, we'd be in much less pain than we were 20 years ago. And 20 years from now, we can just walk away. And they know that.
Right.
So now is the time to really pressure them and say, listen, if you want our support against Iran, you need to back a Palestinian state and use your money to build it, and then use your sons in their uniforms to be a peacekeeping force.
Right. But again, you're going to have to convince the Palestinians themselves that they don't get the whole thing, because they don't seem to really want to give up on that idea.
Well,
the
that's
whole
the thing.
river to the sea, we get it all.
Well, that's Hamas. Are we talking that, or regular Palestinians?
Well,
you know, most Palestinians are just regular people who want a life. And remember, it was Arafat who walked away from that.
Right.
It was their leadership.
Well, he was what you would call a regular Palestinian. I don't know what that means, but you're talking about the West Bank as opposed
I'm talking
to
about the
Gaza.
West Bank versus Gaza. Those are two different ecosystems.
Right. Okay.
As the Middle East undergoes profound transformation, Real Time with Bill Maher turns its focus to a rapidly shifting geopolitical landscape. Arab realignment and the expanding influence of Iran. Once splintered by sectarian divides, several Gulf states are now inching closer to Israel, not out of shared values, but out of shared anxiety over Iran's growing power. Iran's network of proxy forces stretching through Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen forms a menacing arc around Israel and is redrawing the region's strategic calculus. The panel unpacks the stakes, arguing that any hope for peace must first reckon with this volatile equation. Yet amid the instability, a fragile optimism persists. With new regional alliances emerging and the U.S. stepping back into its role as diplomatic broker, the long-sidelined, two-state solution battered but not broken still lingers as a distant but real possibility.